What's going on, people, and welcome back. As you can see, you're at a new angle today. I got a new camera stand, so you know the production value of the channel is going up a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? But we're here to talk about mixing, and today I got a good one for you. I've got a T.Boost track called Certified. It dropped maybe a couple months ago. Probably one of my favorite mixes right now. I just like the track in general. But with this track, it's interesting because I actually mixed the vocals in my recording template to the 2-track, and then I mixed the beat around the vocals. That's not something I always do, but in this occasion, I kind of had to, and I'll tell you why in a sec. So let me play you this kind of half-finished mix here. This is going to sound a little bit raw because it's not finished. This is the recording template, which I showed you in my recording template video. If you haven't watched that, go check that out. And check the mix template video because we're going to discuss all of that today. So let me play you what I got.
Certified. Yeah. Took my books out and put a pistol in my rucksack. 15 addicted to drilling, I had to cut back. Dog caught a murder charge, I'm pissy, never bust that. Niggas make gun raps, I've never heard them up that. Certified now, my membership could never get revoked.
All right, so as you can hear, it sounds a little bit raw, a little bit unfinished. So, of course, I recorded this. Boost came to the studio, and as I mentioned in my recording video, template video, I used the FG800 in this case, and I used the console 1, which is here. And, you know, just like I said in the previous video, 2-to-1 ratio, just a little bit of compression. And, you know, I just drag it down from the tracking template to this lead vocal. Sorry, the tracking channel to this lead vocal channel. And I just carry on like that. I record something and I drag it to the channel it needs to be on. In this occasion, so usually, you know, the artist will leave with the rough mix, and then I will, when they're ready for it to get mixed, I'll get the beat stems, and then I'll export it all into a new session using my mix template. But in this occasion, I started mixing the track in the recording template, just in the session. And the reason for that is because I wasn't sure if Boost wanted me to mix the track. I don't know, like, he might have wanted me to send the stems and get it mixed elsewhere. All I know is that I wanted to be ready for if he did want me to mix the track. I didn't want to miss an opportunity, do you know what I'm saying? And maybe that's a little bit of advice to anyone watching this. If an opportunity arises, don't impose yourself, but be ready. You get me? If you've got an opportunity, be ready to take it. So like I said, I started just doing a quick mix down just in my spare time in the recording template, the recording session, should I say. And this is what I ended up using. So on those lead vocals, I've got the R compressor.
Books out and put a pistol in my rucksack. 15 addicted to drilling, I had to cut back.
Doing -3 decibels of reduction. We've got a Pro Q2, doing a cut here at just under 500 hertz, and that's to get out that kind of, it's the kind of the room, if anything. Sorry. And then we have the TubeTech compressor. You know I love this compressor. 4-to-1 ratio, attack, release is at 4 and 6.
Books out and put a pistol in my rucksack. 15 addicted to drilling, I had to cut back.
Doing -3 decibels of reduction. Then we're going into this VMR, which just has a little boost there at 4K. Boost. A little boost there at 4K. A DSR, DSing at 4K. And another Pro Q2 here.
Books out and put a pistol in my rucksack. 15 addicted to drilling, I had to...
So that's our lead vocal chain. The background vocals, which I'm not really gonna get into, to be honest, but like the stabs and the double ups on the hook, they plus the lead vocal goes into this all vocal channel, which I have the soothe on there.
Books out and put a pistol in my rucksack. 15 addicted to drilling, I had to cut back.
And then I'm using this SPL iron to glue everything together. So like I said, the stabs, the hook doubles, the ad-libs, everything is just getting glued together with this SPLI, and I really like this compressor. I'm using it a lot at the moment. Plugin Alliance is good as well because their plugins are mad expensive, but every now and then they'll do a crazy sell. So this is usually like $3 or something, but I bought it for like £30. Like they'll just do a mad sell randomly like that. I don't know what their whole strategy is, but I got it for cheap anyway. I didn't pay the $3. I can tell you that. So here you can see it says SSL. And this is because I'm routing my vocals out into my SSL Fusion, which is on my desk here. I'm going to get into the SSL Fusion in a bit when we get to my mix template. But for this case, I just wanted to run all my vocals, well, my lead vocals through the SSL Fusion just to give it that analog flair. I don't remember exactly what I did, but I probably did just like a little boost at 20k. I like just the kind of let me show you. Yeah, I just like to add just a little bit of shine to my vocals using that 20k knob here. But if for example I'm just running my vocals for it, I won't have anything engaged except just a bit of EQ. I just want it to run through the SSL Fusion just to get that flavor. Everything else I do completely in the box. So here's the printout here, right here, and then at this point Boost gave me the call and was like, yeah, I want you to mix the track. I've sent you over the beat stems. And I was like, great. So I've already mixed the vocal to a point where I'm happy with it. So that means I can do something I don't always do, but it's still a kind of a good way to mix. I exported that mixed vocal straight into a mix session and just mixed the beat stems around it. And that gives you a different kind of, it's a different way to get to the same outcome, basically. And it's a way that I enjoy sometimes if it comes to it. But in this case, I wasn't going to just start the whole mix again. So I printed the vocals and I exported it to my mix template, which we're going to get to right now. Okay, so we're in my mix template now, and this is where I mixed the rest of the track. As you can see here, if I scroll down, there's our vocal here that we bounced out, we printed out and brought into here. Obviously, I exported the stabs and the ad-libs and everything else, but I didn't run them through the SSL. I just ran the lead vocals for the SSL. Everything else I just exported out and then imported them into this session right here. So let's go into the mix window because I think that's a little bit easier for people to follow, right? So I started off with, as I always do, with my, oh shit, what just happened there? What's going on? Started out with my drums, kick snare, 2 snares, hi-hat and open hat. On the console 1, as usual, I don't really do too much on the individual tracks of drums, but on this kick, I did do a little boost here at 60 hertz.
Membership could never get revoked. Wanna get rich.
And a little bit of compression there, just to make that kick a little bit more punchy and just poke out in the mix a bit better. The snare or anything like that doesn't have anything on the actual channels. What does have something on the actual channel is this hi-hat. So let's solo this and I'll show you what I'm actually doing. Let's take. So before, it's quite a straight hi-hat. There's a little bit of velocity change, but it's not really moving. I just wanted it to move a little bit. So I used this Fab Filter Saturn here with the preset 4x4 hat designer. And that kind of makes it move a little bit. It kind of makes it, you know, it kind of pumps a little. Just gives it a little bit of flavor, you know. It makes the earphone listeners a little bit happier when they hear that. I've also got a Pan Man, and it's just wiggling. It's just wobbling the hi-hats a little bit. Then we've got just a meter, so just because I wanted to make sure I wasn't making things too loud with the Saturn. and then a soothe. I think maybe it was a little bit too harsh, so I just put a soothe on there at the end. Then we have the high perks, which the only thing going to my high perks is the open hat, and it's the same thing as in my template video, just 2 spreaders. Then all of these drums are going into this drum bus here, and on the drum bus we have a VMR.
Membership could never get revoked.
Shall we mute the vocals? Let's mute the vocals. Standard clipper. And you use soft clippers when you just want that nice bit of saturation to make the drums just really disrespectful. Standard clippers are good, are great for that purpose. Gets them nice and loud without peaking, nice and saturated without distorting. Just a really nice flavor to your drums. If you want really hard hitting drums, you need to look into soft clippers. SSL compressor. Still got a bass playing. I forgot to mute the bass. And then another VU meter. I just wanted to make sure that whilst I was adding all these plugins, I wasn't changing the volume and wasn't tricking myself into thinking it sounded better when really it was just a bit louder. So VU meter, just got my eye on it, making sure. I've also got one on my desk, you can see here, just making sure that it's not, you know, I'm not tricking myself into thinking it sounds great when it's just getting louder, you know. Got a parallel bus here, and that's just basically the exact same drums. So yeah, all of these drums get put to this drum parallel as well. And we're doing some parallel processing. So we've got a Saturn there. Is there a way to... And that's just to give the drums a little bit of flavor, just to you know, put really low beneath the drums. And we do the same with vocals. We might do a parallel processing on the vocals just to give it a different type of weight that you wouldn't get otherwise. Usually just subtle differences. Really subtle, but it just gives it that nice bit of beefiness, a nice bit of texture. All of these 3 buses then are going to the all drums bus, which has nothing on it. And then the all drums goes to this drum and bass bus, which we'll get to in a sec. Beside that, we've got there's 2 types of basses on this track. We've got the Moog bass and we've got an 808. So that 808 has it got anything on the console 1? I don't think it does. Where is the 808? 7. Just a little roll off, nothing else, no compression or anything like that. Then we split the 808 into 2 channels. We've got the lows of the 808 and we've got the highs. So how we achieve that, we make it go to 2 different channels. These are all inactive, by the way, but here we have the green screamer giving it that distortion. So we mute the lows. So we're just capturing those highs there, and then what we do is we spread it using the little micro shift. And that way our bass sounds nice and wide. We don't lose any of the punch of the low end because we're not touching the low end, we're only touching these frequencies here. It does sound a bit bright and crazy on its own, but in the whole mix when everything else is playing, it really just sits in there nicely and gives us that nice effect that we were after. So let's bring back the music. It probably could come down a little bit. And what that does as well is it makes it so on smaller speakers, so if you've got like phone speakers or laptop speakers, you can actually hear the 808. If it's all sub, then you're not going to hear that 808 through laptop speakers or through TVs or through certain Bluetooth speakers. So it's just a nice addition. It might be something that the producer doesn't like, and they might just say, look, you've made the 808 sound too bright. Can you take that off? And that's no problem. You know, you're always trying to do what's best for the track, not for your own pride or ego or whatever it is. So we've got a few bits of music here. Where is the music? So these orange ones. So we got... It's nice. I like that. So what we doing here? Got an EQ there. We're just cutting the mids of the EQ, the on the stereo field. So there's mids and then there's sides. Obviously, we're cutting the mids so our vocals can just sit right in there, and then we're spreading it out a bit by using the side part of the EQ. And that's a nice way just to make your vocals sit in with the beat a bit better. I don't think I've done anything on these kind of effects or the tags, so we're not going to get into that. Running through the virtual mix bus. Oh wait, I didn't show you something else on the bass. Okay. Sometimes I do parallel processing on the bass as a whole. I've even forgot to show you this as well. I'm moving mad. But in this case, I didn't. I just used the virtual mix bus on the Brit N setting. That's an MSM tip right there that I've been using ever since I heard that. But I completely forgot. Let's reel it in a bit. I got a bit ahead of myself. So the drum and bass are going through this channel here, the drum and bass channel. And on it, we've got the Shadow Hill. This EQ here. And then as you can see here, we're then running it through the SSL Fusion. The SSL Fusion. So here you can see drums. So the drum and bass, these are the settings I used on SSL Fusion. So got the vintage drive there. That's just on. I've not touched any of I've not turned it up or turned it down or anything. We've done a big boost at 90 Hertz. We didn't actually touch the highs. We just did that big boost on 90 Hertz and some stereo imaging. And that's it. There's not a lot to the SSL Fusion, but what it does gives it so much flavor. It's just, man, money well spent. You know, it's probably the most I've spent on anything studio related, but I think it was money well spent. It better be. Jesus. Underneath that, we've got the R bass. And then the VU meter. So what I'll do normally is I'll just print it. So it's printed with the SSL on there. And that's what we've done here. Printed it. I've made it inactive for the sake of this video, but usually I will just completely make all of these inactive and hide them. And then I'll just work with this from then on. Again, we're committing to things. We're not just doing things, oh, you know, I'll undo. No, we're going to do things and commit to them. We've been through the music now. We did do this Cream EQ. And that just brings it all to life, doesn't it? This present section on this Cream EQ is chef kiss. We've been through the lead vocals. That's just printed. There's absolutely nothing on there, I don't think. Where is it? Yeah, we're just doing some gaining, and that's it. Other than that, it's completely the same as what you heard in the recording session. I've not done anything. There is some stuff on my all vocals bus, but we'll get to that in a second. Stabs, little micro shift, and the little cut there. And the doubles, just some EQ. That's the hook doubles, by the way. And then the background vocals bus has this on it, the SPL Iron, with the background vocals preset, and the VMR, just giving it a bit of air. So that's just like super high frequency, basically. and you can't hear it because I've muted it.
Membership could never get revoked. Wanna get rich, just take a 9 out and press the code. Break it down and sell it, that's what I call a stepping stone. Forever road, my mama tell you I was never home. Niggas I had beef for they.
So the ad-libs have the Fab Filter Saturn on there. And the Pan Man, obviously, so you got the ad-libs going from headphone to headphone or speaker to speaker, whatever. And then everything, all of our vocals are going to this all vocal bus. Now, please, if you haven't already, pause the video and watch the mix template video and then come back just so you know what's going on here, because I'm not going to go too deep into these things. I've already explained it. But I'll show you the plugins. The VMR, got a boost there at 200 Hertz. I guess I just wanted some body in the vocals, a bit of weight. Air flanger, give it a bit of texture, a bit of movement, and the same with the ensemble. And then a little micro shift is at 4%. Again, just trying to make the vocal sound a bit bigger without it losing its punch and without really anyone noticing. You want it to be subtle. These, when it comes to stereo imaging on your vocals, your lead vocals, you don't want to be going crazy with stereo imaging. You want it dead through the center. Unless you're going for a certain sound, you want it to be dead in the center so it stands out, especially with rap. You want it to stand out. These are both inactive. And then we have the reverbs and effects, but this is all stuff that I've shown you in the mix template video, so I'm not going to click on all of them. But on the lead vocals, I'm using this much reverb 1. I'm using this much reverb 2. And am I using it? And that much reverb 3. And that's quite a lot of reverb than I usually use, but I don't know, I think it suits Boost's voice, like a lot of reverb. I think kind of the way that he raps and the type of beats he raps over, I like that kind of Gotham City sound. Do you know what I'm saying? Lots of reverb, really dark. Did I do any delays? 8th delay and a 4th delay. So quite echoey, quite reverby, lots of effects, more so than I'd normally put. And that's it. Then we obviously have basically our mix bus. This is what everything goes to. And on there we have the virtual mix bus. We have an EQ, SPL iron with the mix knob down in the middle. The cream EQ, we're doing a boost at 12 and we're doing a boost at 2.7. The SSL compressor, we're going into the SSL Fusion, which I'll show you those settings again. Oh man, I closed it, so it's gonna open. Yeah. All right, cool. So these were the settings for the master for that mix bus. It's got the drive there, but we've turned it down a little bit. The low, we're doing a big boost at 70 Hertz. Is it 70 Hertz? Yeah, it's 70 Hertz. Nothing on the highs, and a bit of space and a bit of width. Then go into the Soothe, FGX, and the BX limiter, and that is everything. And I aim for -10 LUFS. You can push it louder, you can get like 8, sometimes even 7, but I'm not with it. I'm not trying to get involved in the loudest words. Very rarely people tell me, oh, it needs to be louder. When you're hitting -10, very rarely people are like to me, yo, it needs to be louder. And so I just go for -10. Some people say -8 is where you need to be. Some people say that -10 is too loud and needs to be -12 for Spotify and that. But that's something that you're going to need to do your own research on, because I'm not an expert with that sort of thing. I'm not a mastering engineer. I just go for what sounds best. And I believe for most mixes that I do, -10 is loud enough, but we're not losing all of our dynamic range. It's not completely squashed. So that is our complete mix. Then, of course, we'll just record it out to our print channel and then send it off. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this kind of long rant about templates and to get to this final stage. I think it's been a pretty good, video video series. Pretty informative, really good song to show you, you know, I've shown you different, and I will, by the way, I will put the link in the description of this video for all of the templates for you to download. They will only be in Pro Tools, I'm afraid. I only have Pro Tools at the moment. I don't have Logic anymore, and I don't have Studio One. So if you've got Pro Tools, then you're in luck. If not, then I'm sorry. Maybe in the future, I'll do more Logic videos. I'm gonna need to get a new laptop, to be honest. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Please leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.